In today's video, I want to talk to you about 5 different ways that you can help to reduce a visceral belly fat that actually work. But before we start, let's understand what we mean about visceral belly fat, because as your qualified online trainer, I always say that knowledge is power. The more you understand how your body works, then the easier it is to work with it. So we have 2 types of belly fat. We have type 1 subcutaneous belly fat. Now, this belly fat we actually need, and this is really important to remember. This is the belly fat that sits just underneath our skin. This is the belly fat that we can see, and that serves a purpose. That helps store energy, it helps protect our organs. It's really important for insulation, it helps support hormones. So it's really important we always have a little bit of belly fat. But the second type that I want to talk about is the visceral belly fat. Now, this is the fat that's stored in your abdominal cavity, and this is around the internal organs. So this is the one we want to reduce simply for better health. And the great news is there are 5 ways that we're going to talk about how to do that today. And let me just say, as your qualified trainer here, my belly fat workouts on YouTube have now had nearly over 200 million in total views. So trust me, I know what works. So we're going to start with tip number 1, and it goes back to the most simplest of all, and it is simply walking. Walking, as I always say in all my videos, is the number 1 exercise. It's low impact, it's full body. So this really helps with overall weight management. And the great thing is you don't need to be going out and doing a long walk all at once. You can do what I call walking exercise snacks. So that might be that you do just a quick 10-minute walk in the morning, 5 minutes just in the office, at lunchtime, even marching around the spot at home, or going out for a quick walk around the block. The good thing is you don't have to do a big chunk of time. Break it up into small chunks throughout the day. That's why we're going to call them walking exercise snacks. And another really good tip is, if you can, after you've had a meal at home, just get up and move, even if it's just a few minutes walking around the room, up and down the garden. But the benefit of this, what happens is the blood sugar from your meal, instead of it just sitting in your system, if you move your body, then your muscles require energy, so they pull on that blood sugar. So that is tip number 1, is simply walk more. So for tip number 2, I'm sure when we all think we want to get rid of that visceral belly fat, to jump on the floor, do those ab crunches, do the planks. Well, no. The key is to do cardio abs. So what we want to be doing here are doing standing ab exercises where we're getting your heart rate up at the same time as conditioning and strengthening your core. Now, as we're all aware, we can't spot reduce. We can't send a request and go, I want this bit of fat to come directly off there. But what we can do as an overall package, we can focus on lots of elements. And when we're looking to reduce visceral belly fat, that's all over body fat that we want to just reduce. So by doing the cardio abs, we're going to help to reduce that. And then because we're standing up and we're really focusing on the abs, we're going to strengthen your core. So when it comes to helping reduce visceral belly fat, no amount of sit-ups and no amount of planks are going to help. We've got to jump off the floor to work your core. So tip number 3, let's talk nutrition. Now, I'm not telling you here at all to go on a strict diet. No, no, no. All I'm saying is let's just go back to basics when it comes to healthy eating. The whole food industry has become overcomplicated, misleading with all its labels. Let's be smart here. Let's take our control back, and let's just be aware when we're food shopping, look at the foods we're putting in our trolleys, read those food labels. if it has an ongoing list of ingredients, it's probably one you want to put back on the shelf. Just stick with whole foods if you can. Your vegetables, your fruits, your pulses, your carbohydrates, your lean meats, your proteins. And if you can, always try and cook from scratch. I think the biggest problem when it comes to visceral belly fat is all the ultra processed foods. They're full of those hidden sugars, salts, fats. And the truth is, if we can find the time just to spend a little bit more on looking after what we're feeding our body with quality ingredients. And equally, something that I always say and something that I do personally is I always apply the 80-20 rule. So 80% of the time, go for those healthier choices. To me, they taste nicer anyway. But then 20% of the time, if I want that pizza, that bar of chocolate, whatever, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to restrict, but it's all about balance. So tip number 3 is look at what's on your plate. So tip number 4 is let's be a sleeping beauty. And sleep, believe it or not, is a real contributor to helping to reduce visceral belly fat. And the reason being, and we've all been there when we've had that poor quality or super late night sleep, you wake up the next day, you've got no energy. So the thought of doing your walking, doing your cardio abs has gone out the window. And then the healthy food choices, that's probably gone out the window as well. So try and make a really good bedtime routine because our bodies love routine. So during the week, Monday to Friday, just say to yourself, you're in bed by 10:30, set a regular routine. Make sure your bedroom's a really comfortable, calm space. Switch off from that social media at least an hour before, so we've got nothing running through our mind. And as I said, when we get good quality sleep, that really helps with our mood, it helps with our appetite, and helps with our energy. So if you're looking to lose that visceral belly fat for better health, really focus on getting that good sleep. So tip number 5, I always save the best to last. This, in a way, is a little bit of a glue for all the other tips that I've said, because this is about being consistent. Consistency is always key. And what I like to do as your online trainer is just come up with practical solutions that are doable. So the summary of this today, if you're looking to lose that visceral belly fat, remember the deeper fat that sits around the internal organs. You want to look at doing a little bit of walking every day, add in some cardio abs, look at your nutrition, make sure you're eating healthy foods, equally focus on the right size portions and plenty of water, and avoid alcohol or cut down on alcohol. The 4th one is get plenty of sleep, and the 5th one is just add those to your daily life. And that is how you can help to reduce that visceral belly fat. And final note, don't forget, we all need to pinch that bit of subcutaneous fat. We need that for better health. So if you liked today's video, give me a thumbs up. If you'd like more in this series, any topics you'd like me to cover, let me know in the comments down below. And just before I go, I have put together for you a playlist of all my belly fat workouts. Now these range from a 7-minute, 7-day challenge, and I've even put the one that went viral with over 161 million in there for you. And you've got lots of others and times ranging from a 5-minute, 7-minute, 10 minutes. Plus you've also got my walking workouts that really help to reduce that visceral belly fat. So have a good look there. You can save that playlist so you've got those as your go-to home workouts that you can do. And remember, as I said, consistency is key, and it's all there and all completely free for you. And ciao for now.